She's
yes,
here.
yes,
Hi. Hi. Are you able to hear me?
yes. Loud and clear. You can go ahead.
Yes. Hi. Yes. As Attorney Diani Winter just informed you, my husband was transported to South Africa. Yes, today. He did not sign permission for them to remove him. They dragged him on the plane. They tied him and his other colleagues with him, and they tied him up, and they saran wrapped him and put him on the plane. Once they arrived to South Africa, they denied coming off of the plane. The South African police officers came with guns and dragged them off. You know, my husband has his paperwork, his file in front of a judge right now. Nothing was signed off for him to be removed from the United States at all. And now he's left 7 U.S. born children here.
And how long should he be in Eswatini?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Now he's waiting for the government to decide the next step. So he was in ICE custody since January, and now he has to be there in a detention center for who knows how long.
Oh, and the final destination for him is still not determined either.
Exactly.
Wow. And you have you are unable to make any legal representation for him based on where he is at this point.
Correct. And he won the CAT, which is a
Yes.
against
Torture.
I'm sorry, from 2016, 10 years ago. And he has been compliant with the United States government for 10 years. The conventions against torture, in which he won, now he's tortured someplace else. The United States said, yes, we'll protect you against torture. But yet they sent him to South Africa to be tortured.
Was he
Yes.
in the process of adjusting his status?
Yeah, well, yeah.
So he's beyond that. He won his claim. Convention Against Torture is a relief from removal, and he won that claim back in 2016, which comes with requirements. You have to check in. You got to stay out of trouble. You got to do all these things.
Right.
So he, for 10 years, participated in that program.
No, I was just trying to figure out if he was in the United States as a green card holder or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for highlighting this story. Really appreciate it. And I just to ensure that the facts are out there regarding the MOU with Jamaica. The government has made it clear that negotiations are still ongoing with the United States. Though the MOU has been signed, the government is still negotiating with the United States. They have brought down the number of TCNs that will be coming into the country to about 25, I think, per 2 weeks or per week.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, as it states in the report, and the government is still doing their negotiations to ensure that the best process as it is right now can be fulfilled. We are way past the break.
And I don't want to cut you off, but I know you got to go, but let me say this. So our government has said they'll process 25 people every 2 weeks. So those 25 people, we don't know if their third country is safe. I'm curious to see where Jamaica is going to send them, because some of these individuals cannot go back to their home countries, which is why they were in the United States protected under the convention. So I'm curious. It's laughable. When I hear you talking, I almost want to giggle. Like, do we even know who these individuals are? They were in the United States being protected under the Convention Against Torture. That's a court really. That's a relief from a judge. That is not something an immigration lawyer makes up. That is not something Miss Joan makes up. That is somebody who has gone in front of a judge and the judge has granted that relief. So I'm curious to see where Jamaica is going to process them to. I'll wait and see.
Well, we will all have to wait and see. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. That's where we're gonna have to leave it. We are way beyond the break. Thank you. Do have enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for having us. Thank you.
No.
$5.1 million. And these are not criminals. I think we're making them out to be criminals. They're not criminals. Everybody has had a brush one time or the other with the law. They are not criminals, and they should be housed. They are being locked up in jail. And these individuals are not criminals. So shame on these countries, shame on Jamaica with this memo of understanding. And I know the Prime Minister went into wanting to maintain these relationships with the United States. Shame on the Prime Minister and Your Holiness for even participating with the United States.
The sometimes there are details about these things that we aren't privy to, and you are revealing some of it here, in the case of Eswatini, where they received funds from the United States to house these people temporarily, to then send them back. But you're saying how they're being housed is inhumane, and you spoke to one person who should be going where? Where is his final destination?
This person should be in the United States. This Jamaican national should be in the United States where he is going through his due process, right? Remember, I mentioned earlier, he has a habeas corpus and a temporary restraining order sitting on a judge's desk. So he's fighting his deportation. He's going through the process, receiving his due process. He should not have been taken outside of the United States on a private plane, 18 hours changed to other individuals while he lands in Eswatini, greeted by soldiers that are armed. That are armed, by the way. They're not criminals. They are not criminals. And I'm calling on Jamaica. I'm calling on all these countries. So far, I think 30 countries, between 27 and 30 countries, are participating in these TSN agreements. Let the United States do their dirty work themselves. Do not do it for them. These are human rights violations, and it's only a matter of time that we see the corruption that's in it. Remember, I said, I don't know if Jamaica received any money. I don't want to say that Jamaica did or did not, but I can tell you every country that's participating is getting some kind of benefit, financial or otherwise. There's no country that's doing this willingly. There's zero of these countries that are participating in these TCN agreements that are doing so willingly, and their human rights violations being violated.
Well, we look to hear from our government as it relates to how there has not been much details as to how these TCNs will be housed. We did hear from the government, though, that of course it is temporary. They will not be staying here permanently, and of course, I am sure we are not looking to treat them as you have highlighted in as they are being treated in other countries. But we, of course, we will stay on top of it and ensure that whatever should be highlighted is highlighted. Is there anything else about the TCN agreements?
I do for the TCN, and Joan is here. Her husband is a pastor that's being held. He's a Jamaican national.
Okay.
But I think these TCN, here's the thing, you or I, and you can tell me if you've ever laid eye on one of these agreements. No one has. Have we seen the MOU signed between our country, Jamaica, and the United States? No. Why can't we see it? If it's above board, if it's above water, why can't we see it? Why can't we see what's in it? And mind you, I'm not saying for 1 second, Jamaica, that we're dealing with people that are choir boys and choir girls. All I'm saying is, look, you don't get to violate somebody's human rights because you want to play dirty and cater to your masses. And then to see all these countries that are participating. When you look at the list, it's all these black and brown countries that are participating. I don't see any of our lighter skinned folks that are participating in these agreements.
But well, let me play devil's advocate for a bit. The Trump administration, they have shown their strength. It has shown, what they can do to countries that that don't have the fortitude that they do. Do you not think it is wise of countries like Jamaica, small Caribbean islands, to play a role that would make sense for their country economically, for the people of their country, for geopolitics on a whole, to stand up as a small island to the United States of America and say no? Don't you think the consequences of that may be greater and something that we may not be able to handle in the long run?
And I think at some point we got to stop playing little or small to the United States. Other small islands have done it. I know David stood up to Goliath, and Jamaica can stand up. And I'm not saying Jamaica is gonna violate. I'm just saying ask questions. Don't be a part of something without understanding. Ask questions. And I think that is what the United States has planned on. What they've gone to the weak countries. I don't think Barbados, correct me if I'm wrong, but I bet you Barbados, I don't have the list in front of me. I don't think Barbados signed that agreement. I don't think Mia Motley did. I'll have to look, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know. We don't know if that arrangement was
I
presented.
don't know, but
to
I
Barbados.
have the list, and I'll go through it. And Jamaicans, they'll correct me because Jamaicans, they will